Hey 365 Pro Wrestling fans, it's Manda Cat here, and today on our 95th podcast, we have the Universes #1 Jon Jon Tavious. Thank you so much for being on our 95th episode today. How are you? How's
I'm doing
everything
great,
been with
Master.
not having any wrestling going on, really?
Yeah, it's been weird, right? So I think with a lot of people, they had a lot of plans for 2020, and just like them, I had a list of dates that I was looking forward to cracking into, and then one by one, everything got cancelled, life stopped. So it just but it's been okay. You find new things to occupy time and stuff.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I know a lot of people had a lot of things that they want to do to cross off their list and stuff. And I know I was one of them too. You know, I had so much going on too. And I know you had a lot going on too. And you were, debuting in 365. You've only had a couple of matches with us, right?
Yeah.
So I know your first debut match, you were in Kitchener at the Registry Theater. You were a surprise entrant, or a tag team, sorry, and with Super K.
Mm-hmm.
And you faced Cece Moss and Lenny Lilac, the Temple.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Yes, but yes, it was a great match. I really liked that match. That was. I'm sure the fans were overly excited because they had no idea who was coming in, right? And you just show up and you're like, hey.
Right? Like,
yeah.
I was surprised.
Yeah. How was that experience?
It was interesting. Like, so Super K was a surprise too. I think I understand that. So we were both surprises. So neither of us knew what was going to happen going in. So apart from the only people that knew, I guess, were the Temple. So they had their time to plan their strategy. So it was an interesting experience. I wouldn't mind teaming with Super K again. He was a cool guy.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully he can see this and maybe, you guys can have another match together as a tag team. I think that'd be a good match to see.
Why not? Why not? It would be fun.
Yeah.
It would be fun.
It would be. So for some of the people that don't know you, Jon Jon Tavious, can you let some of us know, how you got into the pro wrestling world and, maybe who trained you and stuff?
Oh, yeah, sure. So I started when I was in high school, actually. I was trained in North London in a school called the Eldian Wrestling School by a guy named Alan Travis. And he's very much like a world of sport practitioner kind of guy. He grew up with that. So a lot of the stuff we learned was a lot of the basics and a lot of the old school psychology stuff. And then eventually, as time went on, the business started to change. And all of a sudden, like more like North American guys would come in and like other international talents, they kind of reshaped what we learned and that kind of thing. So yeah, it was 2010 when I started. So it's been a hot minute. I often talk about it with my friends, and then they're like, "Oh, has it been that long already?" I'm like, "Yeah." It's like still, right?
It does feel like 2010 was only a little bit ago, but really it was like years.
Right? It's like you're a whole different person 10 years ago. It's crazy.
It is. You really changed in 10 years.
Oh yeah, I was doing that stuff during from high school and even through college as well. So I'd bring my college work to shows some of the times. So I'd do my match, I go back and do my homework, that kind of thing. So, yeah.
Wow.
Right?
You had your time management skills good though.
Apparently, some would disagree, but they're not here to disagree. So I'm gonna say, I had great time management skills. Perfect. Amazing.
Well, the way you described it, it sounded like you did. You had very good time management skills, being able to have the responsibility of doing both of it, something you love and something you had to do.
Absolutely. Very much the way I thought about it as well. So 100% agree.
So you've traveled, obviously, starting in London, England, or sorry, not London, sorry, in London. But I heard that you traveled for a bit in wrestling. How was that experience?
So when it was traveling, it was very much a lot of traveling up and down the UK. So that's where the most of the traveling came from. Like, so we do different shows in different towns almost every night. So that was interesting. Yeah, it was like thousands and thousands of miles. You get to learn about people, get to know people. Like when you're traveling, I think the longest time I ever spent on the road. Well, obviously, like I was there for days and stuff like that. But like the longest time spent on the road was like 18-hour day. So like we'd be up at 6 a.m. Then I'd be back home by like 4 a.m. That kind of thing. There are other times where it was like longer than that, but I don't remember them. But yeah, you learn a lot just sitting there on the road with different people, like, because you bring people in for tours and stuff like that. So some of these things would go for like 6-day tours, 8-day tours, 18-day tours.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's just a lot of, right? I wrestled on an island once. That counts as traveling, I guess.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yes,
right?
it does.
Just
yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah. So then that's when I just decided to move here. So to continue the travel, I do want to travel more though. I wanted to travel in the United States. That was the plan before this world happened. And then there was other plans to go to other countries as well, which I'm still looking to do. That's always
yes, there's still those opportunities there, you know. So I'm sure people understand what's happening and you know what's happening in the world and stuff. So I'm sure there's still going to be opportunities. I know lots of people still want to get out there, so
yeah,
I'm sure you'll have that opportunity. Hopefully.
So. Fingers crossed, right?
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. That's right.
yeah, right. Heck.
Yes. So now, also with you being new to 365, I'm gonna switch it back. We're gonna go back to 365 instead. Do you have a favorite moment in 365? Like I know you've only had a couple of matches, but do you have any favorite moments so far?
Well, it's a weird favorite moment to have because I lost the match, but it was the match against Eazy-E where I was going for my dynamic entry kick, and he dodged out of the way, and I ended up kicking the turnbuckle right off the post.
Yeah.
So
that
was an interesting experience. I didn't know what to think, but I was like, if that was his head, I would have won the match. So
yeah, that would have been a crazy experience, but that's still like such a that's such a timing is everything, you know. Sometimes like your favorite moments can come with your timing, so yeah.
Hopefully I have many more like that. Well, hopefully I'll kick the turnbuckle pad, it will stay on, and then I can eventually turn around and kick the person in the face and then win the match. So that'll be an even better moment one day.
Yes. Was that what you were kind of going for before he kind of dodged you? Is that
It's a trademark kick. So I knew that would have ended it. I was battering his head the entire time. So what that one kick would have ended. You saw what it did to the turnbuckle. I damaged an inanimate object.
I know.
He's a living person.
Yes. That would have been just, I don't even know how I would even be able to describe that. Just out of the universe.
Right?
Right? The universe is number one.
I see what you did. Very nice.
Yeah. So growing up and stuff, you said, you know, you went through high school and college and stuff. Who was an influential wrestler for you?
I think it's the same for a lot of people. I was very heavily influenced by Chris Jericho because, well, when I was a kid, I wanted to be like Batista. But then I grew up and I wasn't 6'5", so I had to change who I liked. So Chris Jericho was a lot of like who I studied when I started out. Just the way he mixes between being a brawler and being a high flyer is always something I like to do. The fact that he's kind of comedic in how he does things, I've always had that weird sense of humor. So I enjoy a lot of his stuff. Obviously, the guys like the New Day, a lot of the stuff that they talk about and they put forth in the ring, stuff that I would do if I was in their situation. So they're very influential to me too. And there are obviously guys that I was in the ring with, starting out that basically like shaped how I felt about what I should be doing in the ring. Early on, I faced a guy called Paul Malin in the United Kingdom, and he was very good, like at just helping me along and just made me realize what work rate was. So I just every time I like have a match now, I think back to those kind of days, and I'm like, okay, I got to work that hard.
Yeah. I get that. That's also shows more of like you're very hands-on too, right? you're learning in the ring, being influenced that way too. It sounds like when you were, yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I've heard a lot of people, you know, they've during these podcasts and stuff, their influential or their favorite wrestlers is Chris Jericho, and I've never had to disagree because he is also one of mine. You know, I find him so amusing in the ring because of just the things he goes off and says, and you know how he wrestles is just it fits everything. He's really built such a great gimmick. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And it's like he says it all with a straight face too. That makes it even better. Like the funny stuff he says it fully straight faced. So he knows he's being hilarious, but that's for you to find him funny. It's not for him. And just like the fact that he can turn from being funny to being completely serious, and then like you can take him serious in the ring. That's something I think we all look for. Because I guess the funniest guys in wrestling, as much as people want to say things like funny doesn't equal money, some of the funniest guys in wrestling made the most money. Like The Rock was hilarious, right? Chris Jericho was hilarious. Stone Cold in his own way was hilarious. Like the people started with a what chance because they were funny, right? So that made him a lot of money. So yeah, we all want to be funny / serious, I guess.
Yeah. Well, everybody has a funny bone, right? You all want to play off the funny bone. And it's easier to like somebody too when you have something in common with them, and everybody has a humor, right? And it's easy to play with that. So, and I also agree too, like when he's saying some of his things, like, and he's saying it straight face, I don't know how he does that. Like, how do you do that? Like, I wouldn't be able to hold my character. Like, I would try my hardest, but there'd always be that smirk.
No, I've tried it every now and then, and I always have to look away from, if there's a camera present, I have to look away because I can't hold it in like that. I'm terrible at that. I'll just break out laughing.
Yeah. So you've been on the camera, you said?
Oh yeah, like every now and then we have shows where there's like camera people, like you know, for filming for YouTube or filming for the internet, sometimes for TV. And like there was one situation where I was fired on camera, and I knew it was coming. So, but because I've done it so many times before, I took a massive bump when he fired me. I threw a huge temper tantrum. But all before I was waiting for the build up for him to tell me I was fired, I was dying of laughter, and I was trying not to let the camera see my face because I was just dying. It was just too much.
Oh man. So what does your family think about all this stuff?
Well, for the most part, they were supportive. At first, they didn't really think anything of it because I was 11 when I told them. I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna be a wrestler one day." And they're like, "Okay, cool, whatever." He's gonna be a fighter pilot too. So then eventually, when I actually found a wrestling school, they were like, "Oh, this is actually happening. I guess we better take this serious. So stay in school, but yeah, we'll watch your back while you do it. Like we'll support you, that kind of thing." So they've always been cool about it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's always nice to have a good support system that doesn't add to your, stress and weight on your shoulders and stuff, right? So.
Oh yeah. It was very well done. Like my mom shows my pictures to all her friends every now and then. They all she shows my Instagram and stuff. My dad bought me a pair of wrestling boots when I first started. So yeah, like little things like that was really, really nice.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's always nice. It's nice to have a support system. I feel like sometimes when you have that support system too, it helps you build more as a wrestler because you're not worried about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. It definitely made things a lot easier. Like, especially on the days when I was still a student, so I was paying for like student fees. Well, eventually I had to pay that student loan back because you know how that works. But while I was doing that, I was still living at home most of the time. Eventually, I got jobs to help with that, but it was very much a case of me traveling everywhere. So having somebody at home who supported me doing that made things a lot easier. Took my mind off.
Yeah. So with you being new and having, you have all these experiences with traveling in the UK and stuff like that. And, now you said you came over and you're with 365 and a couple other promotions too. But with 365, what do you think makes you kind of more sets you apart from everybody else in 365?
Honestly, like, I want to say a lot of things, but I guess that all depends on how people see me. I mean, I guess I look kind of different. I guess, kind of. I also have a
Well,
different.
you got the longer hair, right, with
Yeah,
the blonde in it.
yeah,
That's,
right.
you know, you come out with the highlighter,
Yeah,
yellow. Is it yellow sunglasses?
orange is my favorite color.
Orange. I was close. I was really close.
Very close, very
You
close.
know, that's very eye-catching. You know,
Yeah,
people are like, oh, wow, look. You know, it's eye-catching. You use
yeah,
those fluorescent colors to get the eyes going to your, you know, and then you get in and you're very, you know, all over the
expressive.
place. So,
Very expressive.
yeah.
Yeah, I've been told I'm very expressive. I think it's all based on, I guess, my fandom. I guess that's part of what makes me different is the fact that I bring my anime fandom with me into the ring sometimes. Well, not sometimes,
Yes.
pretty much all the time. I bring it in. So like everything I do is kind of anime-esque. I remember, I think the earliest memory I have was we were doing a workout before the show, and I was just bumping and feeding for someone while they were practicing their hot comeback. And
Mm-hmm.
I started selling up, and they're like, "Why do you do that?" And I was like, "Do what?" And they're like, "That thing when you sell up." I was like, "What do you mean?" So they're like, "You don't notice what you do?" I'm like, "No." So they filmed me and they showed me. I was like, "I do that?" So apparently I sell up in a very overly dramatic anime style way that I had no idea, because it's just something I
That's
did.
so cool.
Yeah. So just little things like
Yeah.
that. Like merch wise, I wanted to make sure that it was very, very different from what other people are doing. Most people sell their 8x10s and they just get like pictures that are shot by the photographers around ringside, which is cool. And I thought that would be cool too. But I kind of wanted to make all of my 8x10s anime style 8x10s to go with the character more. So it cost a little bit of money to get those made, but I'm thankful that they are made. So I'll keep on doing it. That kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess that makes me kind of different. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that does. That does. Because I don't see, you know, very many other people with the anime, you know.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right. No one does a Kamehameha or a Hadoken to the less cultured youths out there. No one does that move in the ring. I do that in the ring. That's right.
You do. You do.
I do. I
You
do. Take them all out with it. That's right.
That's right. That's right. So anime, you said, you know, like is a huge part of you and who you are, and it's influenced you as a person and stuff. You know, I'll admit I watched, you know, anime and Pokemon and stuff like that. You know, you'd
Really?
run home after school and you'd have like, yeah, you'd have your cartoons you'd watch after school. It was like Uh-Oh and Pokemon and other things and different stuff like that. But anyways, so you know, like I feel like if like there are people out there that it plays to, you know, like there are people out there that you can have a fan base for.
Yeah, absolutely. So all of my gear has been inspired by something that I enjoy or watch. So every time
Yeah.
I'll be wearing the gear, and then I have certain people who get it, and they'll be like, "Oh, I see what you're doing with that." Like I have Power Ranger tights, I have a couple of Pokemon tights, I have Dragon Ball Z tights. I'm actually looking to get more of that stuff made. But every time, for the people who do get it, they really enjoy it. For people who don't actually get it, they just think, "Oh, that it's really cool. Like, it looks cool." So you can't go wrong either way. And you, like you said, you form that bond with the people who do enjoy it, and they want to see like what else you bring with that fandom. So that's what made it really, really cool.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I think it's good. I also seem to you were like I think it was, I forget what other company it was, but you did like a promo and you were doing like the Mortal Kombat thing for the for your promo. I thought that was kind of cool too, you know, like that's also kind of plays into that and stuff too.
Yeah, like I figured that instead of doing a standard run-of-the-mill promo, we're not standard run-of-the-mill characters, so we got to do that style, anime style, Sentai style promo to go with it. That was for Northland in North Bay. That was over a year ago now. You see what this has done to us? It made you forget like the before times, I guess we'll call it.
Before.
Right. Good times.
It sounds weird to say that, but yes, I do agree with you. You know, like it's hard to do everything that you can't, like you were doing before because, you know, you're not allowed, but you want to do that so bad because you want to keep going on with what you're doing. So
Yeah, wrestling's a momentum game, right? So you got to keep on going to keep on growing, I guess. And
yeah,
when you can't go anywhere, you can't grow anywhere. So making stuff, definitely.
that was a good analogy. I like that one.
Yeah. Right.
But I do agree with you. I do agree with you.
Mm.
So you were saying that, you know, you have your anime and everything else. Do you have any other interesting things that, you know, influence you at all in the ring?
That influenced me in the ring, not really. It's very much a case of watching other wrestlers who I enjoy, like Jericho and the New Day and like Kenny Omega and stuff like that. And then it's very much just the anime. That those two things are huge in my like my build up, like my makeup, I guess, for when I wrestle. So I wouldn't say there's anything else that influences my wrestling. I do have other interests. Lately, I've been learning how to video edit, mainly for wrestling. Photo edit, mainly for wrestling. I started dabbling in making songs and making music. So there's a fun fact, by the way. I also have like 2 YouTube channels that I do not promote, do not talk about, because I literally just do them for fun. One of them has a YouTube. I posted a video and it got like 1 million views. I won't say what the video is. Yeah, right. I won't say what the video is or the name of the channel, but that's out there. I also made a song that got 30,000 views on the same channel. So I guess.
Wow.
Yeah. So I have that on the side that I do. I post sometimes every now and then when I can, just to keep the flow going. But yeah, I kind of like doing that stuff. Yeah. Just dabble in everything, right? You never know how long you can bump for, I guess.
That's right. Yeah. But at least it's something creative, you know, that you're doing.
Yeah, right. Just to get everything flowing, just keep yourself busy during times where you can't keep yourself busy doing something that you love, right?
That's right. I feel you on that one. You know, like it's been hard to try and find things to do and stuff, but at least you're finding something creative, and it's still kind of in the wrestling business, so it's you're still involved. You know, you're doing things like there you go. You're getting your name out there still, so that's good.
Yeah, in some way. Well, eventually I'll get a YouTube channel that I will promote more, and they'll probably tie in more to my wrestling stuff. But for the time being, I'll just have my 2 fan channels that I made just for fun, that I run every now and then. Yeah, on the side for fun.
So what are they, so that in case people know, just
I don't promote them. They're just kept a secret. They're kept a secret.
Oh,
they're secret channels. They're out there.
We'll find it.
You see, some people know what they are. Well, one of them. Some of my friends know one of them, but the other one, nobody knows because I kept it a secret. It's been around for 12 years now. Nobody knows.
Well, it's not a secret now. You told me.
Oh, you looking for it? Just looking for my random videos? No. Keep things very secretive. Very secretive in this house.
All right. So I know that, you know, there's nothing really going on with wrestling. We've been talking about that and stuff like that. But, you know, I'm hoping, and people are crossing their fingers, that there might be like some outdoor events and stuff like that in 2021. Who, you know, I'm not sure. But I would I'm hoping that 365 comes back and stuff, and we can do some outdoor events. But we'd have to talk to everybody and figure out, make sure it's safe and everything. Make sure it's okay with the big people up there. But if it were to come back and everything was good to go, what are some goals that you would like to succeed in for wrestling for 2021?
When you see all this stuff, it just reminds you how hard it is to plan for this year because of all the stuff that's going on. But
I know,
provided that things do go well and we are allowed to do more shows again, honestly, I've been doing a lot of thinking and I want to do a lot more title chasing. I need to have some more pictures I can post on social media with me holding a nice championship. That would be fun. So I know that I have a tag team partner and we've been looking to catch all the tag team titles. So I know that the Von Slashes over in BC are the tag team champions. So they better be looking over their shoulders because my tag team partner is very willing to help me take the championships that sit upon those shoulders. So they best be watching out. Also, the global champion is over there. They have a lot of titles over in BC. It's getting very lonely in Ontario, so I might have to go over there and take those back. So
you do that.
Yeah.
You do that. I think that'd be fun to do.
Good goals, right? Those are some good goals.
That's a good goal.
Yeah.
And it's part of your traveling. You know, that'll be a successful traveling part too. We can click both things.
Everything. Just put miles on me. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I think that'd be great. So you say you have a tag team partner. Who else is that? Are you allowed to say, or is that a secret too?
That is not a secret. He is not a secret. His name is Darius King. Good man who lives in Toronto. He is my brother. He's my homie. We are good friends. And we are looking to wreck the tag team scene in Ontario, in Canada, across the entire planet. Whoever will have us, whoever will let us wreck them, we will wreck them. We will wreck them.
All right. Let's get that message out there so everybody can hear that. You're coming for them.
That's right. Shout out to Alpha X Kaiju. That's the name of the tag team. For anyone who wants to check us out. We're everywhere.
All right.
Everywhere.
We'll have to go online and then find you on there.
Look us up. There's lots to see. We have lots to do.
Lots to do in 2021 if we can only come back. Right?
Oh, exactly. Yeah, right.
I know. So we were saying that, you know, like you had your tag team match and you had your singles match with Eazy. That was in Guelph.
Yes.
For 365. And then you had another singles match, but it was your third match in 365. It was against Clay Wilson. I'm not sure if you remember any of those matches.
Oh, I definitely remember. I remember. I still remember.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely remember.
Okay. So if you could come back to 365, could you maybe give me say 5? We'll say 5 wrestlers who you would like to maybe have another match with.
Another match?
Or a match at all.
In general? Well, if we're talking another match, I still feel bad that I lost to Eazy-E because I missed him with the kick and he managed to sneak a win. So I'd like to face him again, take him out. Clay Wilson is probably the only, that's the thing. So with the 365 group, Clay Wilson is the only person I had faced before I started at 365. He's the only one. So there's literally everyone that I could face, and it'll be a great experience and a brand new experience. But Clay Wilson, I have to take him out again. So he's won 1, I've won 1, so now we have to finish it. That would be cool.
Yes.
Obviously, I've said I've said the Von Slashes as well because those tag team titles look very nice, and I want to take them back. And I want to sit on my desk. I want to face Golden Boy because he has the global championship. That would be cool. And someone from the Ontario scene, apart from the 2 I mentioned, I'd like to face Joey Allen. So I think that'd be fun. We've always had a good rapport, and I always wanted to see what he's got. So that would be fun, definitely.
Yeah, I heard he's very powerful in the ring. So that'd be a really good match. Have you ever faced him before?
Never.
No, so that would be a new match too.
Yeah, right. We've been in locker rooms before, sat next to each other after matches. How's your match been? Oh, it's been good. But apart from that, we've never had a match. Never been across the ring from each other, not even once. Yeah.
Well, I think it'd be a good match. Good picks.
Yeah.
And 3 out of all those are championships, so championship matches.
I know what I'm doing.
You obviously do. You've gotten this far, right?
Right. I know the game.
You do. So I'm gonna go with a little bit lighter question. I'm not sure if many people know this about you, but you've been to a couple WrestleManias.
I have. I have indeed. I went to both the shows in New Orleans because apparently New Orleans is my favorite city to hang out in. So I did those. So I went to 30 and 34. So yeah, great experiences, fun times, best weekends of my life.
I've always wanted to go to New Orleans and a WrestleMania. I've never been.
It's so good, such a good place to hang out. Oh, so many good memories. I still talk about it with the people I went with. We still have that bond. We have like we talk about it on like WhatsApp every now and then. Always bonded by that experience. It was so good. The only thing I wish is that I was better at social media back then. I wish I posted more and like took more pictures and stuff and took more video. I had a really old phone back then, so the camera footage wasn't that good. Oh man, if there was ever a time to be a vlogger, it would have been those times. But yeah, those are fun times.
Well, at least you have a couple, right? So that's all right. That's good.
Right? Yeah.
You have a couple. And also, you have your memory. So
that's
and
true.
the people that were with you.
That's very true.
So yes. So do you have a favorite WrestleMania at all?
Of all time, I would say 20. 20 is my favorite WrestleMania by far. It'll always be 20, no matter what happens. Because 20 was the show that made me want to start wrestling. So
oh really?
Yeah, that was the show that I watched and I was like, okay, I got to try this. And so I always have that memory. That's probably when people ask me what my favorite movie is, I often struggle to say because I don't really keep a favorite movie. But now I can usually say my favorite movie is WrestleMania 20. That's honest.
Yeah.
I can honestly say that I've watched WrestleMania 20 at least 30 times now. I can I can remember the entire card back to front. That's how many times.
Wow.
Yeah.
So was there sorry, was there a particular match in there like that, maybe made you want to do it? You said it was the WrestleMania 20, but was there like a particular match in there that maybe
it was the main event? Absolutely the main event. Yeah, just seeing the final shot of Eddie and Benoit together in the ring with all the confetti and then holding the titles up. It was just a good memory to have. So I always wanted to have that kind of moment in my career. So that will always be the moment. That will always be the match. And it's because of that reason that I actually like triple threat matches. Most people don't like them. I actually do. I like being in them. I like being in those like multi-person matches because nobody likes them. That's the only reason why I like them. So yeah. Because of that.
Well, it's a lot more excitement, and you get to see a lot of different things, and sometimes alliances happen, and sometimes
Right. It's like it just creates a whole new dynamic compared to like the simple one-on-one matches. So I like them because it's a lot more creative freedom, I guess.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I feel like triple threats are, they're very entertaining. They're a lot different than any other match because you get to see a lot of different other things that wouldn't happen. So
yeah, right. Even with Fatal 4-Ways, it's still pretty much it's like 2 one-on-ones happening every now and then. So like it's just the dynamic of having 3 people. It just makes things odd for everyone. So literally makes things odd for everyone. So yeah, I always like them because of that match at 20.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's a great one. I do like that one too. So I own that one actually.
Really? Really? You have that one?
Yeah.
I lost my I don't know.
I like 19. 19's my favorite. I have that one too.
19 was a good one as well. I always liked that one too. Definitely in my top 10, 19. That's a good one.
It is a good one. I like that one. There's a lot of good matches on there. So
so good. That main event too, crazy.
Yes, it was. So if you could have, say, dinner with 3 wrestlers, past or present, who would they be? And why?
It would definitely be Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho would be number 1 because of everything that I've said. I've always been a fan. So just like learning from him would be really, really cool. Eddie Guerrero would be the second, clearly because every time I've heard a story about Eddie Guerrero from somebody who's been successful in the business, it's always been, oh, Eddie taught me this. Oh, when Eddie said this, it just something struck in my mind. So I would like to know the things that they learned from Eddie Guerrero, to like just hear them for myself and just see if that changes the way I see the business. I want to have that conversation. And for the third person, I would just have to say it would have to be a group thing. I don't care if they share a seat, but I would like to hang out with the New Day because it'll just be like hanging out with friends. I feel like I'm very much like them. They are very much like me. So I think we just mesh and just hang out.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you could. I'll just, you know what? I'll just let you have all three of them there. They're a team, so we'll make it one.
Right. They can share a seat. They don't mind.
That's right.
Right. Screw it.
So, but that sounds like a really great, great dinner party. Sorry, to have. I think I'd want to sit at that table too. I'd be like, hey.
It'd be like a fun party for us all. Just hearing them just joke around and stuff like that. All of them hilarious.
Yeah, all the stories and stuff they'd have for us.
Right. All the stuff that we always wanted to know, we never got a chance to ask.
Yeah. I'm sure there's like a list of questions you'd want to ask.
Absolutely. I think about it a lot. The stuff that I
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think I'd want to have a whole list prepared, that way I don't go in and be like blind struck, feel like, like, oh my God, I'm sitting here with them and like totally forget what I'm saying. So I'd want to bring a list too.
Oh, definitely. Oh my God. Imagine you just go there and then you have all these words you want to say. They either come out in the wrong order or they don't come out at all. My word. No.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think a list would be definitely a good thing to bring.
Yeah, definitely. It'll save you a very embarrassing moment. Actually did have a moment where when I was younger, well, I say when I was younger, it was when I went to my first Mania and I wanted to talk to Xavier Woods and I wanted to talk to Biggie and I couldn't say a damn word. So, yeah, I just couldn't get the words. I was like, I didn't realize it was them. So I was just like, oh God. And yeah. So.
Yeah. It happens. It happens. Don't worry about it. I'm sure it happens so many times to them and they just brush it off.
Yeah.
They're just like, whatever. I get it.
Right. This random kid coming up to them trying to say something. I didn't even say anything. I don't think they even saw me. I just stood there and just like, is that? No. And we just kept on walking. So it's like, yeah.
Oh no. You're just like,
Like, missed opportunities, all the things we could have talked about.
Yeah. But you know what? You never know. You're still young in your career and stuff like that, and you still want to wrestle, so you never know.
Yeah.
You might have that opportunity again.
Yeah, why not?
Remember your list.
Definitely. I'll remember to speak next time as well. Remember.
Yeah. That's right. So, a little bit of a weird question, but in your opinion, who would you say is the most underrated wrestler of all time? And why do you think that? And it better be somebody that I know. No, I'm just kidding.
It's gotta be someone that it's gotta be. People would say things like Cesaro or Sami Zayn, but like when you say those names, you know that they're good. Everyone knows that they're good, so they're not really underrated. They're underrated in their own way, but like not to most fans. So I would say Carlito is a very underrated person.
Yeah,
I would say because people know he's good, but they don't know like the little things that make him cool, that make him work. So I would say he was underrated, and the other one is Bubba Dudley. To be honest, because you see,
okay, that was a weird one. I wouldn't see that. I wouldn't think that one, because like I think people know who he is, but I guess he didn't get kind of more of the singles. He got more tag team kind of titles, right?
But like whenever you hear about like the great singles wrestlers, you don't think of Bubba Dudley. When you think about like great tag teams, you'll say, oh yeah, the Dudley Boys this, but they don't say Bubba Dudley specifically. They'll say the Dudley Boys. Yeah. I'm saying specifically Bubba Dudley because a lot of those tag matches were orchestrated by him. Some of my favorite tag matches. So I started looking up tag matches when I joined a tag team, so I could see the kind of things, the kind of stories we could tell, and blah blah blah. Blah. So I noticed that a lot of the tag matches were orchestrated by him. So it's like, those are really good matches, but no one will speak about them unless they're in the business or they know him. So
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. At least that's my understanding anyway. I could be wrong, but based on what I know, a lot of it was him. There's also Goldust, but now everyone knows he's good. So
yeah, but they don't know him like from when he started back in like the early 90s.
Yeah.
You know, like when he first came around, like I think he was even he was somebody before he was Goldust, wasn't he?
Natural Dustin Rhodes.
Yeah, like he was just himself, I think, right? Yeah, like he was just using his himself. And like not a lot of people knew who he was until he like really came about, and that, you know.
Yeah.
I would say that's a good one too.
Yeah. So just those three, I would say, off the top of my head, those are the three people I would say are pretty underrated, despite like their level and what they got to.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think those are some good picks.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I like to think about these things.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So, well, we've gone through kind of, you know, everything. We've kind of gone through your whole kind of pro wrestling career, you know, and we've gotten to know the Jon Jon Tavious as he is. So, last question for you and for all of the fans out there, how would we be able to get a hold of you online if anybody wanted to talk to you or, you know, chit chat, hear some stories about you?
Here's some stories about me. You can just like hear them on the streets. My legend is being written every single day. But if you want to find me on social media, I do have an Instagram. I'm very terrible at social media, but I do have an Instagram that I'm using more frequently. In fact, I just realized recently that The Undertaker got an Instagram before I did. Yeah, I didn't know that. So I'm trying to be better.
I didn't know that. I don't have Instagram, so.
Right? So get on the Instagram.
I have to get on the Instagram. That's right. I better get on there.
The Undertaker was quicker than us, Manda. The Undertaker.
I know.
The Undertaker got Instagram before we did. Right?
That's not good. That's not good.
Right? So there I am on
weird
Instagram.
World we're living in.
Yes, right? I'm on Instagram at Uno Tavious. That is my only social media. I have yet to get Twitter. The Undertaker has also got Twitter before I did. But eventually I'll get there. I'll eventually get the self-confidence to get a Twitter and understand that people might actually care what I have to say. One day they'll care what I have to say. But until then, you can care about the pictures that I post and the occasional stories of random anime things and Pokemon posts and stuff that you may not care for, but you're going to get them anyway because you checked me out and you followed me. So yeah, at Uno Tavious.
Right. All right, perfect. Well, thank you so much. The universe's #1, Jon Jon Tavious.